The Agentic Pod. All the podcasting you will ever need.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine just telling an AI, in plain English, what web app you need.
Like talking to a friend about it.
Exactly. And then, boom, it just builds it for you almost instantly.
Well, that's the really exciting frontier of AI in software development right now.
It really is.
And this one company, Lovable.dev, has just exploded onto the scene.
Yeah.
The speed is incredible.
Yeah, the traction is something else. We're talking significant ARR, annual recurring revenue, and a huge user base very, very quickly.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, about how software might be made in the future.
Absolutely. It suggests a potentially fundamental shift. And Lovable.dev's early momentum, it definitely points to a strong demand for this idea, this AI full-stack engineer.
Precisely. So for this deep dive, we've got this great market analysis report that a listener shared. It focuses right on Lovable.dev.
And these reports, they usually pull from lots of places, right?
Yeah, exactly. Company websites, research papers, funding announcements, the works.
To get the full picture. Right. So our mission today is to kind of look past that initial buzz, really dig in and understand what makes Lovable.dev tick.
What are the challenges they're facing?
Yeah, who are they up against? And, what does it all mean for this whole AI development space?
So kind of a shortcut to getting a handle on a pretty big trend.
Exactly. Think of it like that.
And if you look broader, this could be AI moving from just helping developers
right.
to actually being more of a creator itself. So looking at Lovable.dev, it gives us a really valuable early look at that shift.
Okay, so Lovable.dev, they call themselves an AI full-stack engineer. What does that actually mean? What does it do?
Well, basically, Lovable.dev is designed to generate complete web applications.
The whole thing, front end, back end.
Yeah, the user interface, the data stuff underneath, all based on just, simple natural language descriptions.
Yeah.
You tell it what you want.
And it builds it.
The AI gets to work.
Yeah.
They even claim it can be up to 20 times faster than doing it the traditional way, coding by hand.
20 times. Wow. That's a bold claim. How does it do that? What's the tech?
Well, what's interesting is they use different kinds of large language models, LLMs. They reportedly use OpenAI's GPT-4 Mini for speed-critical tasks.
Okay.
And then Anthropic's Claude when things get more complex for more intricate reasoning needed for the code.
Ah, so they're tailoring the AI engine to the specific job.
Seems like it. And this AI capability, it powers all their main features. It takes your text prompt, generates the first version of the code,
right.
Then lets you tweak it with more text commands. And importantly, you can actually click on elements on the screen, the UI.
Oh, visually.
Yeah, and then tell it how to change them using text again.
Okay, that sounds much more intuitive than just staring at code, right? Being able to point and say, change this.
Exactly. And it's not just the visuals. It handles back-end stuff, too.
Yeah.
Database integration, like with Supabase, connecting to other services via APIs.
So it covers the full stack, like the name suggests.
Pretty much. And for developers, maybe those who are a bit skeptical, it integrates with GitHub.
Which is crucial for version control and teams.
Absolutely. Standard stuff. Plus, you get live previews as you build, easy undo.
Right.
Which is always helpful.
Always.
And then, when you think it's ready, they promise a one-click deployment to get it live.
Okay, so idea to live website, theoretically managed by the AI. Who is this actually for? Who's the target user?
It's actually quite broad, which is interesting. They're aiming at founders, solopreneurs, people needing to test ideas fast. They claim over 500,000 founders are users already.
500,000, that's huge.
Then product teams, maybe non-technical folks building prototypes, designers turning mock-ups into something real, and even existing software engineers.
How would engineers use it?
Maybe to speed up front-end work, the UI stuff, or maybe quickly fix some bugs. It's pitched as an accelerator for them, too.
Got it. So a really wide net. How do they make money then? Is it pay per app?
No, it's a freemium subscription model. So there's a free tier to get people in.
Standard sauce playbook.
Right. And then paid tiers, starter, launch, scale, offering more private projects, custom domains, and crucially, more credits or chats.
Ah, credits. That's the key.
That seems to be the main monetization lever. These credits get used up when the AI does work generating code, editing things.
So every interaction costs something.
Essentially, yes. And the paid plans also bundle in premium hosting, plus custom plans for bigger teams.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, this rapid growth we mentioned, can you put some numbers on that? How fast are we talking?
It's really quite remarkable. Lovable.dev sort of came out of nowhere, building on an open source project, GPT Engineer, which itself got popular fast on GitHub.
Right, I remember seeing that.
So when they launched the actual Lovable.dev platform, the GI, in November 2024, they hit $4 million ARR.
In how long?
4 weeks.
Wow, okay.
Then, just 2 months after launch, $10 million ARR. And by February 2025, reports were around $17 million ARR.
17 million.
Yeah, some sources threw around $30 million, but $17 million seems more consistent in the reports we saw. And ARR, just to clarify, is the annual recurring revenue, what they expect from subscriptions over a year.
That's just staggering growth for such a young company. What about users?
Similar story, explosive. By Feb 2025, they reported over 500,000 users total, with 30,000 of those paying customers.
30,000 paying already.
Yep, and the usage numbers.
Yeah.
Early 2025, they saw over 1,000 products being built daily. Later, that jumped to 25,000 new products daily.
25,000 a day. That's wild.
Yeah, and over 1.2 million apps built in total since launch, according to the reports.
Incredible. And I assume the VCs noticed this. Funding came in.
Yeah, they pulled in $6.8 million in pre-seed funding, then quickly followed up with a $15 million pre-series round.
Led by Creandum, right? That big name.
Exactly. So that's about $27.7 million total funding very quickly, with some well-known tech investors involved.
So big money betting on this. What was the initial vibe around Lovable.dev? How was it seen early on?
The perception was overwhelmingly positive initially, especially in founder circles and the no-code, low-code communities.
People were excited.
Definitely. It got tagged as this super fast-growing European startup. Some even compared it to early Spotify in terms of that rapid rise.
High praise.
And that open source GPT engineer origin really helped build initial awareness and, community goodwill, especially for people wanting AI tools to build stuff without needing to be expert coders.
It sounds almost too good to be true. But we know hypergrowth like this often comes with, well, growing pains. Does the report talk about sustainability? Any potential pitfalls?
That's a really critical question. That initial burst is amazing, but yeah, the report flags the challenge of keeping that going. And more importantly, turning those early trial users into long-term happy customers.
Right, retention.
Exactly. The report points to potential product limitations, especially when you try to build something more complex, or when the AI generates code with bugs.
Which must happen.
Oh, for sure. And there's a risk that some of that high early ARR might just be from people kicking the tires, burning through credits out of curiosity.
Rather than building businesses on it long term.
Precisely. Sustaining value over time is the key challenge.
And the main way users interact is just by typing prompts, right? Natural language. What are the pros and cons there?
Well, the big pro is accessibility. It lowers the barrier massively. If you can describe it, you can maybe build it.
That's the promise.
But the downside,
Yeah.
translating fuzzy human language into precise code, that's hard. Users report getting stuck in these error loops.
Error loops.
Yeah, you try to fix one AI bug with another prompt, but that prompt accidentally causes another bug. It can get frustrating.
And expensive if you're burning credits trying to fix things.
Exactly. Which has led to this whole new skill, apparently. Prompt engineering. Learning how to talk to the AI just right.
Right. You have to learn the AI's quirks.
Interesting.
Interesting. But it sounds like Lovable.dev saw this limitation, the text-only approach.
Yeah, they seem to have. Introducing features like select and edit or visual edits where you click on the screen, that feels like a clear move to a more hybrid model.
Mixing text and direct manipulation.
Right. They're acknowledging that pure text isn't always best for fine control or fixing things, making the AI more reliable and giving users these other ways to edit. That's going to be crucial for keeping people happy and reducing churn, especially for complex projects.
Makes sense. Okay, so Lovable.dev isn't alone in this space. It's getting crowded fast. Who else is playing here?
The competitive landscape is.
Yeah.
It's broad and moving super fast. You can kind of group them. First, you have the direct AI app builders.
Like Lovable.dev itself.
Exactly. Companies offering that core text prompt to full app thing. Bolt.new is a big one here. From Stack Blitz, they reportedly have significant ARR too.
Bolt.new. Okay. Who else?
Then there's Soften, focusing on full stack with specific tech like Firebase, Next.js, Rosebud AI, doing web apps and even games from language, plus a bunch of others. Uglier, Codev, Medable.ai. Maybe less prominent right now, but they're out there.
Okay, so the direct prompt to app players. What's the next category?
Next up are the AI-enhanced low-code, no-code platforms. These are the established players, mostly visual builders,
Like Bubble.
exactly like Bubble. Huge user base, lots of funding, and now they're adding AI features. Then you've got tools like Uzard, more AI for design, wireframes from text or sketches, Builder.io, using AI for visual development, design to code, OutSystems, Wix, ADI, lots of existing platforms bolting on AI.
So established tools adding AI smarts. Got it. And the third group,
That's the AI coding assistants. These plug into your existing code editor, your IDE.
like GitHub Copilot.
Copilot's the big one, yeah.
Yeah.
Massive estimated ARR there. But also Cursor, that's really interesting, an IDE built around AI, growing incredibly fast.
Cursor. Okay, I've heard about them.
Then Tab9, Replit, Amazon Code Whisperer, Google's AI Studio, the list goes on. Lots of tools aiming to help developers write code faster within their normal workflow.
Wow, okay. So Lovable.dev is swimming in a busy pool. The report specifically compares them to Bolt.new, right, as direct competitors. What's the comparison look like?
Yeah, they're seen as head-to-head. Launched around the same time, similar core idea, similar LLMs like Claude, similar backend like Subabank.
But different philosophies.
Kind of. User experience is a big differentiator. Lovable is seen as more intuitive, maybe better for non-technical folks with its chat interface and visual edits. Bolt, coming from StackBlitz, feels more like traditional developer IDE in the browser. Direct code access, terminal.
More control, maybe, but requires more coding knowledge.
That's the perception. Also, Lovable syncs directly with GitHub. With Bolt, you often download the code or work in StackBlitz first. Small differences, but they matter to workflow.
What about the actual output? Code quality? Cost?
Reports are kind of mixed on initial code quality for both, honestly. And both seem to struggle when requirements get really complex. Debugging can lead to those bug loops we talked about on both platforms.
And the cost difference. Lovable uses credits, Bolt uses
Tokens. Bolt's token model has gotten some flack for potentially being unpredictable, maybe very expensive, especially if you're doing a lot of debugging back and forth.
because every interaction costs tokens.
Right. Lovable's credits might feel a bit more predictable within a subscription tier, but heavy use, especially for fixing things, could still rack up costs.
So choosing between them, it really depends on who you are and what you're building.
Seems like it. Lovable perhaps leans towards ease of use, rapid visual prototyping. Bolt maybe appeals more to developers wanting that deeper control, comfortable in an IDE. But frankly, both are still early. They both need to prove they can handle complex production stuff reliably and cost-effectively.
Okay, so given all these competitors' direct, low-code assistance, where does the report ultimately place Lovable.dev? What are its core strengths and weaknesses in this fight?
Strengths. Definitely that ease of use for non-coders, the sheer speed for getting an initial prototype up, that incredible early traction and funding which gives them resources, a focus on UI design, and key integrations like Subabase and GitHub.
And weaknesses?
Handling complexity is a big one. The debugging nightmare scenario relying on prompts, those error loops, the credit cost of fixing things, that dependency on prompts for fine control, and just the general reliability or predictability of the AI output. Plus, yeah, those cost concerns around credits.
It really feels like their core strategy is accessibility, right? Targeting that massive audience who can't code today.
Absolutely. That 99% who don't code seems to be their mantra. It's a powerful differentiator. Aiming for breadth over maybe the depth that a tool like Cursor or Bolt might offer a developer.
But that carries risks too.
Yeah, the risk is being perceived as maybe just a toy or only good for simple prototypes, not serious applications. And that consumption-based pricing, the credits, it's vulnerable. If users feel costs are spiraling, especially during debugging, that's a problem compared to flat-rate tools like Copilot. Transparency and minimizing credit burn during refinement are key.
This whole AI code generation space just feels massive. What does the analysis say about market size, potential growth?
Yeah, nailing down precise numbers is tricky. The field's new, terms are inconsistent, AI code tools, AI platform software, different reports slice it differently.
But ballpark figures.
Okay, so for AI code tools specifically, estimates for 2023, 2024 were maybe in the $4 billion to $7 billion range. Related areas like AI website builders, no-code AI platforms, also billions.
So already significant.
Definitely. But the really striking thing is the growth forecast. Compound annual growth rates, key ARs, consistently predicted above 20%, often over 30%. Some generative AI segments even higher. It's explosive growth.
Wow. What's fueling that? Why such high demand?
But a perfect storm, really. Businesses desperately need more efficiency, faster time to market for software, apps are getting more complex. AI itself, especially generative AI and NLP, is just getting so much better, making these tools feasible.
And the whole low-code, no-code trend helps too.
Absolutely. That trend was already strong, and AI is pouring fuel on the fire. Plus, cloud adoption makes deploying these tools easier. Lots of investment, lots of talent pouring in.
Okay, huge potential. But are there speed bumps? Things that could slow this down?
For sure. Potential inhibitors include the cost for big companies to implement, ongoing worries about security and privacy with AI touching code, the complexity of integrating these tools into existing workflows.
And the code quality question.
Yeah, is the AI code always reliable? It often needs human review. And maybe there's even a talent gap, needing people who know how to use these AI tools effectively.
Right. Still challenges. So for companies like Lovable.dev, what are the big opportunities in this growing market?
Lots of room to run. Automating even more of the software lifecycle, specializing in specific industries like AI for healthcare apps or finance, tighter integration with DevOps for deployment and monitoring, building much smarter, more autonomous AI agents, and of course, geographic expansion.
You mentioned geography. Did the report highlight any specific regions?
It did. While North America is the biggest market now, Asia-Pacific consistently comes up as the fastest growing region.
Why Asia-Pacific?
Huge growing developer population there. Big government pushes for AI and digital transformation. Think China, India. Just generally faster adoption curves in some areas. Long term, any global player needs a strong Asia-Pacific strategy.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. Overall assessment. Lovable.dev's position, future prospects.
Summing it up, Lovable.dev had a truly remarkable start. Landed right in the middle of a huge, fast-growing market, fueled by generative AI buzz and backed by serious cash. Clearly hit a nerve, strong demand for that core idea. But the competition is fierce. Direct rivals, low-code adding AI, coding assistants, they're coming from all sides. To really succeed long-term, Lovable needs to prove it can go beyond just fast prototypes. It needs to handle real-world complexity reliably.
So tackling those challenges around complexity, debugging, reliability, cost, that's critical.
Absolutely. They need to deliver sustained value, not just initial wow factor.
The report did a SWOT analysis too, right? Quick highlights.
Sure. Strengths. That amazing early growth, ease of use, prototyping speed, integrations, brand buzz. Weaknesses. Complexity handling, debugging pain, prompt dependency, cost concerns. Opportunities. Huge market growth, democratizing software, maybe enterprise sales, geographic expansion. Threats, intense competition, the sheer speed of AI innovation, meaning they have to keep up, user churn if problems aren't fixed, big tech jumping in.
And there was this interesting point about the trajectory moving from AI engineers, like Lovable claims to be, towards AI assistants or even AI agents. What's that about?
Right. So Lovable's AI engineer positioning is ambitious, aiming to automate a lot. We started with assistants like Copilot, which help humans. Now we're seeing things like Cursor, Aider, maybe even Dev and AI tools that act more like autonomous agents, tackling bigger tasks with less direct guidance.
More independent AI. Exactly. The challenge and opportunity for Lovable is to incorporate more of those agent-like smarts, to plan, execute, debug more effectively on its own, while hopefully keeping that user-friendly prompt interface. The future is probably a blend. Intuitive prompts controlling ever smarter AI agents underneath.
Okay, so boiling it all down, key takeaways from this deep dive on Lovable.dev and the whole AI software scene.
I'd say, 1, Lovable.dev's launch was incredibly impressive, proving massive demand for AI app generation. 2, they're in a huge, growing, but very competitive market. 3, their natural language approach is powerful, but has real limitations right now around complexity and debugging. 4, overcoming those limitations is crucial for their long-term success.
This has been really fascinating, a great look at a company right at the heart of this AI revolution in software. It definitely feels like things are changing fast, so maybe a final thought to leave our listeners with.
Go for it. Will these AI engineers truly democratize software building for everyone? And if so, what happens to the role of the human developer? Or maybe, how do these companies figure out pricing? How do they make these powerful tools affordable and predictable enough for people to actually build businesses on them? Lots to think about.
Definitely a lot to watch in this space.
Thanks for digging into this with us today.
All the podcasting you will ever need.